The Valdrosian Empire had conquered 47 worlds in their expansion across the galaxy. Each time, the pattern was the same: arrive, demonstrate superiority, accept surrender. Their scientists had studied Earth for months, a primitive world with fractured nations, crude technology, and laughably weak defenses. They chose the Sahara Desert for their landing site. Isolated, far from major population centers, perfect for establishing a beachhead. The invasion fleet descended at dawn, their ships gleaming in the rising sun. Commander Thextal stood at the viewport of the lead vessel, watching the endless sand dunes below. A wasteland, he mused. This world will fall within a solar cycle. He had no idea he'd just landed his army in one of the most hostile environments on the planet, and that was before the humans arrived. The first sign that something was wrong came 6 hours after landing. 3 Valdrosian scouts collapsed, their cooling systems overwhelmed. The desert temperature had reached 126 degrees Fahrenheit. The Valdrosians, evolved on a world with a stable 70-degree climate, were suffering catastrophically. Increase environmental shields, Thextal ordered. Expand the perimeter. That's when the humans struck. They came from nowhere and everywhere at once. Bedouin tribesmen who'd lived in the Sahara for generations, French Foreign Legion units trained for desert warfare, U.S. Special Forces who'd spent years in similar terrain. They moved during the hottest hours when the Valdrosians were weakest, appearing from behind dunes like ghosts. The aliens' thermal sensors were useless. The entire desert registered as hostile heat. Their hover vehicles sank into sand that shifted like water. Their energy weapons overheated in minutes. Meanwhile, the humans thrived. Lieutenant Hassan al-Rashid led his unit through the dunes with casual ease, wrapped in traditional desert clothing that kept him cool while the aliens literally cooked in their armor. He'd grown up in these sands, knew every trick for survival. The Valdrosians were fighting the desert itself, and the desert always won. They chose the worst possible landing site. He radioed to command, watching another alien patrol retreat to their ships. These invaders have never experienced a world that actively tries to kill them. He was wrong. The Valdrosians had experience with hostile worlds. They just didn't have experience with Earth, a Class 12 death world where even the empty places were deadly, and the dominant species had not only survived but mastered every environment from frozen tundra to scorching desert. On the third day, a massive sandstorm rolled across the Sahara. Valdrosian sensors detected it too late. Winds reaching 70 miles per hour blasted their ships with sand that stripped away hull plating. Visibility dropped to zero. Their technology, designed for controlled environments, failed catastrophically. The humans simply wrapped their faces and waited it out. They've been doing this for thousands of years. When the storm cleared, Commander Thextal stared at his casualty reports in disbelief. 200 soldiers lost to environmental factors, not battles. The planet itself was killing them. Retreat, he finally ordered. Full withdrawal. As the Valdrosian fleet limped back into orbit, Hassan watched from a high dune, sand still clinging to his scarf. He thought about his ancestors who'd crossed these sands on camels, about the scorpions and snakes that thrived here, about the people who called this wasteland home. The aliens had chosen the desert thinking it was empty, defenseless. They didn't understand that on Earth, even the empty places were occupied by the most adaptable, most stubborn species in the galaxy. Humans didn't just survive Earth's hell zones. They lived in them, thrived in them, called them home. The Valdrosians updated their intelligence files that day. Earth, Class 12 Death World. Dominant species adapted to all environments. Avoid contact. They thought they'd land in a wasteland. Instead, they'd landed in humanity's training ground.